Over the last 60 plus years, one strange detail keeps appearing in Bigfoot reports. It's not footprints, not vocalizations, and it's not sightings. Cameras. Specifically, cameras that suddenly stop moving when something unusual happens. Dead batteries, equipment malfunctions, cameras that function normally before and after the encounter, but fail during the moment investigators were trying to document. This has happened multiple times whenever I go to record something. And I press record, and then I go to stop recording, and it's already stopped, missing everything that just happened. So I've heard these stories for years now. Most people dismiss them, and honestly, I did too, but it was at first. Eventually, I noticed something. The same story kept showing up from witnesses who never met each other. It's at different locations, over different decades, and different equipment. Same problem. So I stopped asking if Bigfoot is real. I started asking a better question. Why do so many people describe electronics behaving strangely during certain encounters? The answer led me somewhere I wasn't expecting. Stick with me. It's not supernatural. It's something you can actually go test yourself. If this happened once, it would mean nothing. Equipment fails, batteries die, technology breaks. What caught my attention was repetition. Batteries draining unusually fast, trail cameras shutting down unexpectedly, audio recorders malfunctioning, digital equipment behaving unpredictably in active locations, photos being taken and then no longer in storage. That doesn't prove anything on its own, but repeated observations created questions. And good investigation starts with questions, not conclusions. So I stopped looking at the encounters. I started looking at the ground underneath them. Most people focus on the encounter. I started focusing on the environment. What kind of location produced these reports? What sits underneath them? What's happening in the landscape itself? When I started comparing locations where these reports occurred, the same environmental ingredients kept showing up. Moving water, usually spring water, ancient forests, quartz-bearing geology, natural springs, maybe even a lot of hot springs in so many similar locations. Mineral-rich terrain. At first, I thought it was a coincidence. No, took me one or two times, and then I see everything as a synchronicity. Then I kept finding it again and again and again. By the fourth or fifth time, I had to stop calling it coincidence, and that sent me looking for an actual explanation. And this is where things get interesting. Quartz has a documented property called piezoelectricity. Under pressure, quartz can generate electrical charge. That's established science. It's why quartz is used in watches, radios, and countless electronic devices. Now, Combine that with groundwater moving through fractured rock, geological pressure, fault systems, mineral-rich terrain. Suddenly, you have an environment generating electrical activity on its own. Could that affect sensitive equipment standing on top of it? The question is worth asking, and it's the question the next section tries to answer. This is where some researchers take it further, and where most stop talking, because this is the part that sounds the most far-fetched. One proposed explanation involves naturally occurring plasma. Not science fiction plasma, real plasma. An ionized state of matter that can occur under specific environmental conditions. Some researchers have suggested certain wilderness environments may occasionally generate plasma phenomena. Could that interfere with electronics? Potentially. Could it explain every camera failure? No. And could it explain some of them? Possibly. The important thing isn't the theory itself. The important thing is that it's testable. Something that can be investigated, not just believed. Here's where I stand. I don't think every failed camera is evidence of anything unusual. I don't think every battery issue points to Bigfoot. But I also don't think repeated observations should be ignored, especially when they keep appearing in the same kinds of locations. Ancient forests, moving water, quartz-rich geology. The same environmental profile showing up repeatedly underneath areas that keep producing unusual reports. The pattern interests me because patterns are where investigations begin. Maybe the real question isn't why cameras fail. Maybe it's why certain locations keep producing the same kinds of experiences, the same environmental characteristics, the same witness descriptions, same equipment anomalies, and decade after decade. That's the question I'm interested in. And it's a question we can actually investigate, not through belief and not through arguments or debate, through observation, documentation, and pattern recognition. Next time you're in a location associated with unusual activity, document the environment, water sources, geology, visible quartz, forest maturity, terrain characteristics. And if you are running electronics, document their behavior too. What worked, what didn't, and what changed. Because the more observations we collect, the clearer the picture becomes. Drop "camera failed" in the comments if you've ever experienced this unusual equipment behavior in the wilderness. Tell me what happened. Tell me what the terrain looked like. And most importantly, tell me what happened right before the equipment failed, because the pattern may be hiding in the sequence. For 60 plus years, people have argued about the creature being forest person, people. Maybe it's time we investigate the place, because if the same landscape keeps producing the same experiences, the landscape might be the story. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, we'll take care.